Hello students, welcome to this class of BA Part 1st English Literature. I am Dr. S.S.Vaidwan, Department of English, and dear students, today we will discuss an interesting essay by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, and the title of this essay is Animals in Prison. The present essay, that is Animals in Prison, it has been taken from Nehru's autobiography entitled An Autobiography. In this essay, Pandit Nehru, he presents a clear picture of the days that he had spent in different jails of India during the freedom struggle, that is when India was not an independent country, it was ruled by the British. He says that since there was nothing for him to do, and in some prisons the convicts were not even allowed to read, so he had a lot of free time to engage himself in other activities. Nehru used this opportunity to pay attention to various animals and insects that he came across in his cells at different jails. The format, dear students, that we have chosen for this video is a question answer session. The first session will be of question answers, short questions. So we start with the questions. Who is the writer of the essay Animals in Prison? And the answer is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. From which book of Nehru has this essay been taken? This essay is an extract from Nehru's book An Autobiography. Which season was far longer in Dehradun than in the plains below? The answer is spring season. Gaunt and cheerless, they stood there till the spring air warmed them up again. What does the word they refer to? The word they here refer to the magnificent peepal trees. What was the name of that new animal which was like a lizard and a crocodile? The answer is pangolin. Which animal did horrify Nehru most? It was centipedes. How long did Nehru live in the Dehradun jail? In the Dehradun jail, Nehru lived for 14.5 months. Question next. Nehru says, I was not alone in my cell. Who else lived with him in the cell? Wasps, hornets, lizards lived with Nehru in the cell. They were his companions. Next question is, I had better cells in other prisons, but in Dehradun, I had one privilege which was very precious to me. What was that privilege? In Dehradun, Nehru was allowed to go out and walk up and down in front of the gate every morning and evening. So this was a precious privilege. Why were the monsoon rains always welcomed? The monsoon rains were always welcomed because they ended the summer heat. Why does Nehru remember 24th of December 1932? It was a really cold day. It rained for the whole day, but it suddenly cleared up in the evening, and then Nehru could see the mountains covered with snow, that is the Himalayas. What were the insects with whom Nehru was at continuous war? And the answer is, there was a continuous war between Nehru and bedbugs, mosquitoes and flies. Which insect did Nehru tolerate? Nehru tolerated wasps and hornets in his cell. What were Nehru's experiences with squirrels in Lucknow jail? There, the squirrels came very near to Nehru. Sometimes they would climb up on his leg and sit on his knees while he was reading. What changes did Nehru see in nature in the spring? And the answer is, a change came in the trees during the springtime. New leaves started growing up on them, and these leaves shone brightly in the light of the sun. Next question. What different moods of nature did Nehru notice while in jail? While in jail, Nehru noticed the following moods of nature. The spring season, it was very pleasant. New leaves came and shone brightly. Rainy season, it was welcomed because it ended the summer heat. Autumn and winter, they were pleasant, but if hailstorm and rain took place in winter, it became very cold. Next question. What interesting details does Nehru give about pigeons, parrots, and the brain fever bird? And the answer is the pigeons, they were in all the jails except in Almoda. They were killed by jail officials for the purpose of eating there. Parrots, Nehru loved to see their courtship and love making. Sometimes two male parrots would fight for one female parrot. Next question. Why is the bird brain fever named so? Nehru saw the brain fever bird in Dehradun jail. It was so cold because the bird repeated the same notes continuously. So it was named the brain fever bird. Which animal visitors were not welcomed by Nehru? And the answer is scorpions, snakes, and centipedes were not welcomed by him. Next question. Question number 20. Worship of cow and kindliness do not always go together. Comment. The Hindus worship the cow, but they do not take care of it. They allow it to wander in the streets because they do not feed the cow properly. What are the patron animals of some European countries? How do they mold their national character? According to Nehru, the different countries have adopted animals as symbols of their ambition and character. For example, the eagle, symbol of USA and Germany; bulldog and lion, symbol of England; bear, symbol of France; cow, symbol of the Hindus. Most of these animals are aggressive and of fighting nature, except the cow. When people see them, they also become aggressive. The Hindus are mild and non-violent because their patron animal is the cow. In this particular essay, Nehru says that when he was in the Dehradun jail, he found that there were many insects like wasps and hornets, and he also saw many lizards, and he was amused to see the funny movement of their tails and their chasing of one another. He says that after the monsoons, poisonous animals like scorpions and snakes would creep in his cell. Nehru was not scared of snakes so much as he was of centipedes. So he was very much scared of centipedes. He also came across monkeys in Bareilly jail, and he remembers one incident in which a small monkey was saved by his parents from men. It was a very brave thing because all the men were armed with lathis, but the monkey was not afraid to save his child. Similarly, in another incident, Nehru says that once he saw a very strange animal which was almost 2 feet long and which had twisted his body like a knot. Nehru came to know that animal was to be eaten as a bhujji by his owner. The name of this animal was pangolin. In another incident, Nehru was amused to see two male parrots fighting with each other for one female parrot, and who was ever was the winner, the lady parrot would go with him. Nehru had once kept a black scorpion in a bottle, but that scorpion somehow managed to run away. Nehru was surprised to see that there were not any pigeons in the Almoda prison, although pigeons were very common in every other jail. In this way, dear students, Nehru gives us a very lively description of the animals, the different animals that he saw in different prisons of India while he was kept in these prisons by the British. Nehru says that different countries have adopted different animals as symbols of their ambitions and characters. For example, the bird eagle is the national symbol of USA and Germany. Similarly, the lion and the bulldog are the symbols of England and the fighting cock of France. These animals and birds are very aggressive and fighting animals, and the people of these countries are also very aggressive and very fighting kind of people. That is the reason why the Hindus are very soft, gentle, and non-violent, because their main animal, the animal which they worship, is the cow. Nehru also takes this opportunity to describe the different seasons, particularly of Dehradun, where he had spent almost 14 months in the jail. He says that the autumn and spring season were very pleasant. He would be delighted to see the trees getting new leaves and shining brightly in the sunshine. The monsoons were a welcome relief for the hot summer. The winters were pleasant, but if it rained, then it could be a horrible experience. Nehru was a lover of nature, and he remembers one particular incident that took place on December 24, 1932. That day, a thunderstorm took place, and it kept on raining for the whole day. It was bitterly cold, but suddenly in the evening the weather cleared up and he was very happy to see the mountains covered with snow. That is, the Himalayas were visible from the cell of the jail. Dear students, in this way, this essay brings out Nehru's ability to see nature, birds, and animals very closely, and also what his attitude towards these animals was. We can also say that while in the different prisons of the country kept by the British, Nehru, he amused himself and he very minutely observed the activities of all these animals, and he depicted the same in his autobiography entitled An Autobiography, from which this particular extract has been taken. Dear students, I hope you have understood the theme and the short answer questions of this particular essay by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. We will continue with the next video with another text prescribed in your course. Thank you very much.